everyone. The reason that I've called together this meeting today is to talk to you about a few things that I want to go over about the club and the well-being of it. How many of you know what percent of the families come back to the club year after year to play for us again? Well, less than 50% of the girls come back year after year to play with us. With this being said, this is something that we need to change if we want to see the club grow and continue to succeed. As we all know, being a newer club in the area, it is harder to get girls into our club and to retain them year after year. With that being said, that means that when we do get new girls into our club, we need to retain them and we need to provide them with the best experience possible so they come back and so that they tell their friends to come join them. In regards to this meeting, I want to discuss with you the issues of unprepared coaching, coaching styles, and training. If we can find solutions to fix these issues and strive for excellence and high quality work, I believe that we can increase the percentage of girls who return to play for us and continue onto our goal of becoming the best club volleyball program in the Central Illinois area. The first thing that I want to dive into is the issue of not being prepared as coaches and not being the best coaches that we can be. I want to talk to you about how we can always be prepared on time and the best coaches we can be for our girls. I want you to all look back and think about the best coaches you had while you were playing volleyball. I know that for me personally, the best coach that I had throughout my 13 years of volleyball was Mike. Mike was a very calm, cool, and collected man of not very many words. And one thing that I really admired that Mike did was he focused on the mental aspect of the volleyball game. He not necessarily focused on what you did on the court, but how you reacted and how you talked to yourself mentally and just how you dealt with your teammates. Mike was a person that he wanted to discover how you talk to yourself when you performed and just how you talk to your teammates and how you would encourage your teammates when something was going wrong or when something was going right. I know that for me, if I would shank a pass or had a missed serve, he would want to know, Rachel, what are you saying to yourself right now? And before Mike, I would always be saying, come on, Rachel, like, why'd you do that? Get it together. Like, that was awful. But after I had Mike coaching me, I was always like, okay, Rachel, before I would go back to serve, I would tell myself, okay, you're going to get an ace. You can do this. Or before I was going to pass the ball, I was going to say, okay, platform out, perfect pass, you got this. He completely changed my outlook on volleyball. And I know that for me, without him, I would have never became the player that I was. Because he completely, just by changing the mental game for me, it completely changed my whole world of volleyball. It created so much more for me. It made me into a completely better player. And this is something that I want to try and implement to practice for my girls because I know how much it helped me. And I really think that if I can bring this to them, it can help them as well because I see how much I benefited from it. So I think that you guys as well need to think about different characteristics and things that coaches did that you really enjoyed and try to implement that into your teams as well, just to try and help and motivate those girls and see if it can make as much as a difference to them as it did to you. So I think if we all do this, it can really set us apart and make us better coaches. And another thing that we really need to focus on is always being prepared and on time. And when I say this, I want to talk about always getting to practice early, and when we are getting to practice, that we're always prepared and ready to coach. And when I say getting to practice, I mean we need to be there with the nets up and balls ready 30 minutes prior to the start of practice. I want this to be a thing because I don't want parents and children to have to sit outside or be standing outside waiting for us to get there, because I know if this happens that it can become a major annoyance and something that can really turn parents off. So I really want us to always be at least 30 minutes early with everything ready to go so that if someone does want to come in and start warming up, they can, and we can offer them training assistance. Because I know that for me personally in high school that a lot of times we would be standing outside waiting for our club coaches to show up, and by us waiting outside for 30 minutes, it'd make us start practices late. So that's something I really think we need to work on so we aren't starting practices late. I want us to always be prompt and on time. So when practice time starts, we start with drills and we are working on that. Everyone is warmed up, ready to go. So I think if we just focus really on bettering our coaching and always being prepared and on time for practice, I think this is a great solution to the problem, and it can really set us apart. The second issue that I want to talk to you about is that of negative coaching styles in the gym. I know that everyone has different coaching styles and views on how things should be done. But here at 2-on-7, I want us to all be on the same page about a few things. When I talk about offering high quality coaching, I want us to give the girls coaches where they do not have to be afraid of them. I do not want any of you to talk down to any of your players or belittle them in any way. From experience, I know how frustrating and upsetting it can be to constantly have a coach yelling at you, belittling you, or even yelling at you to the point of where you're crying. I never want to see any of you belittling or making a girl feel so bad that she's in tears in the gym. Ever, never should that happen. Because when that happens, it makes girls hate the sport and want to quit. And when girls leave our gym, I want them to love it. I want them to love the sport even more. I don't want them to hate it. So I want us to always be very uplifting, positive. I want us to offer great feedback and great direction. I'm not saying you need to sugarcoat everything and make sure everything's just so happy. Yes, they do need feedback and reinforcement. I'm just saying never belittle any girl or make her cry or just make her feel so bad about herself. That is something I never want to see in the gym. I have a picture here that I want to show you about how I would really like to see the girls celebrating and acting, just because I think it speaks volumes on how we need to have this atmosphere in our gym. This is how I would like to see our girls play. So I think if we just give positive feedback and just reinforce and always be there for the girls, I think this can really set us apart in our coaching styles versus how other people coach in the gym. The third issue that I want to discuss is that of training intensely and thoroughly enough. Training is another aspect on where we need to demand excellence and high quality work. Training hard is something that we need to implement from day one with the girls. We need to teach them that although volleyball is supposed to be fun, that there is no time to ever just take plays off. We need to instill in the girls that they always need to give their best and never be lazy. Whether it's a drill or a scrimmage, the girls can't just, I'm going to take a play off. We need to always get them motivated and drive them to be better and always go for a ball. No matter how far away that ball is, they need to be going for it. We need to implement this from day one, that never take a play off. Since their parents are paying money for them to be here and better their skills, we need to deliver on this aspect. So with drills and training methods, for us, I think it's very important for us to always be up to date on the latest and newest training techniques. And I think for us as coaches, how we can do this is something I want to show you is the USA Volleyball magazine. They always have great articles, and I think what I'm going to do is get us all subscriptions to this so we can always read it and just bring new ideas to practice all the time. And then another thing that I think we all need to do is look at our calendars and all set up a time, and we can go to a volleyball clinic together and just hear about all the new and upcoming things in the volleyball world so we can try to bring new techniques and different ideas into practices so we can really set our training apart from training of different clubs in the area. I think if we do these things, it can really, really help our training and just help us to get these girls to want to improve their skills even more. With these things being said about coaching and training, I think that by providing excellence and high quality work in these aspects, it can really set us apart from the other clubs in the area and help to make 2-on-7 the #1 volleyball club in Central Illinois. Thank you for your time and listening to what I have to say. Feel free to reach out to me about any questions you have or any ideas you have for the club and on how to change things to make us better. Thank you guys. Have a great day.